So I think we definitely have to focus on it in a way that it was not done before. But I do think that we will also have to, and perhaps we might have to come to e-learning and say, how can we develop something that can speak to the college systematically? Because we look at the system of the secondary education level, we look at the system of the primary, but I don't think we are looking at the system of the teacher education so that we can address it in a structured way to ensure that the impact that we want coming out of the college is, is effected, is realized, it's an outcome that is there. So we take the point that it is not being, and we are very much aware of the fact that it is not where it should be, Principal of Holland, but we need to, but it is, I think there is a commitment of the principals to ensure that that is not continued.
And in the, the work that we have been doing, the colleges themselves are very aware of that, so that even the issue of the HR issue of what constitutes a college lecturer's workload is something that we have to be redefining, because right now it really looks almost like a high school workload. And a lot of the practical things that they need to be doing to get this transformation is tied up in one-to-one, this kind of pedagogy in the classroom. So it really takes not just a change of what is happening in the system, but a change of mindset that these are tertiary institutions. They are not high schools. And therefore, how you operate, how you provide time for research, time for practicum, all those things have to be built into what is happening at the colleges. And the colleges are very aware of it, and they're actually making representations to the Ministry of Education to change that entire architecture.
We have another question here.
Patrick McDonald, the Roger Clark High School, formerly Balaclava High. Yesterday in one of our sessions, we were advised that if we want certificates of participation in a session such as a 3-day conference, we should register. I searched for that desk to register. The paradox is, shouldn't we then be automatically given those certificates of participation from the main register?
It's a housekeeping matter. Right.
You see, the matter of the teaching council came in. And
yes, but it's not a related question. But I think the question from Mrs. Crawford was, what's the role of the teaching council? The teaching council has a role to play in regulating quality in the teaching profession. And it will do so, not so much through registration, but through licensing of teachers, once it becomes law. It's not yet law, but we are very hopeful it will be before the end of this legislative year. And when that happens, yes, this will count as part of the certification. But your question is really a housekeeping matter, and I'll ask someone else to address it. Yes, you have a question?
Right. Yes, Delphine Williams-Young again from Church Teachers College. I was very pleased with the I-10 presentation, but I was quite aware of it before. So I am thinking that perhaps, Commissioner, that we could have a list of the books that teachers can actually participate in. No, at least, and perhaps there should be some standard as to which ones would actually have the teachers meeting the standards that are required, perhaps through the competency framework. But right now, I'm thinking that right now we need to have a list. I would like to see an email coming to my college saying, okay, here are some books that you can do, here are some opportunities, because there are teachers who are interested to upgrade themselves. While we have those naysayers and so on, we do have 50 plus. My experience in the National Standards Curriculum gives me hope. I taught some people who couldn't handle the mouse and so on, and by the end of a 2-hour session, they were so excited, and the email me and so on. So there are people who are serious about their pedagogical practices and they will do it, but they do not have the information. They do not know, say, okay, I can do this course, I can do that course. You need to have something so you can draw on something quickly and say, okay, I can do this. And when you do a MOOC and you get a certification, then it will boost your ego and you will try to do another one.
Suggestions, so we'll have to, Commissioner.
And in addition to the I-10 MOOCs, you have the Commonwealth of Learning MOOCs, but there's a general MOOCs movement where you can do courses. And what I will do is you just register, and every month they send you the courses that you're to do. And like, if you register as a teacher, they will then send you, I did a course in something, I won't tell you what. And every month they send me and say, here's a course for you, right? Which I don't do, but they actually have your profile and they send you and say, this is something that you're interested in, you can do the course. Now the thing about it is that I'm not sure about I-10 and Carl, whether you pay. You don't pay.
Is he still, is he still
some
with
of
us?
these courses, because you see, it's a combination of universities. So you have edX, which is the Ivy Leaguers, right? And what you can do is you go on and they can give you a certificate, a signature, or a badge. And you use that and you accumulate them, and over time, you can get some kind of certificate or degree. So there are different, and one of the things we were encouraging, because some of us went on a trip to Silicon Valley, was to say, how can we use the MOOCs as an adjunct to our teaching? So a student could actually do a MOOCs and you have your lectures just the same. So there are ways in which we have to really build the technology there.
I think we have a question about costs to join the MOOCs.
Actually, with the
Well, I'm
college
wondering if we
institution,
could
not
hear from
I-10,
him.
but the other institution, just the thing. If you want certification, you pay. But if you you can just do the course, participate in the course without a cost for the other.
A cost to participate in the MOOCs.
No, it's totally free.
Ortiz.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. No, all our activities are totally free. When teachers register into our MOOC, they can take the certification if we have an agreement with the government, with the Ministry of Education, or in this case, as we have the last year, University of West Indies certified MOOC 2. But all our activities are totally free for teachers.
Okay.
Yesterday, one highlight, well, certainly from the minister, was the emphasis also on early childhood education. And what I want to know is how will we link the emphasis or the development that is needed for early childhood education with the resources that need to be provided by the teachers who facilitate then the early childhood education. And so out of this gathering here, how can we put forward, any statements, any requests to make sure that even when there's a national emphasis on early childhood education, that the rest of the education system that needs to be aligned in any case to achieve that goal, that will be included in the priorities. I don't know what to do, but it means we have to own it and we have to go forward. So whether from the time,
I think this all comes together when we take a look at our national education strategic plan. We have one that we're working with now that takes us up to 2020, and we've currently started work on preparing for the national education strategic plan 2021 to 2030. This is where I think it all has to come together. Where what you really need to do for early childhood, which goes up to grade 3, the rest of the school system and the tertiary system and the post-secondary system, that it really all has to align.
based on how the planning is done. It should be. One of the problems we have, because I think we do good planning, we have issues with implementation. Some because of the weaknesses, some because of where they limited resources. And it boils down for us in choosing what we think is our best investment. Early childhood is very topical, but the truth is a lot of us want to do improve the teacher quality. Rest with investing in the tertiary, in the preparation for those who go into the classroom. So I'm hoping you aren't putting too in front of stuff. All I can say is that in the planning process, the alignment that you speak of should be there.
Right, it's like producing wine or any product at all. If you want to change the quality of what you're doing, you have to put everything on. And concurrently, you have to look at the stock that is out there. And therefore, there is pre-service and in-service. And this link to back to the classrooms, and it's a cycle. And therefore, in your total planning, if you want to effect change in the early childhood classroom, then the change must be given incubator in the training colleges. And whatever is happening there, in fact, the in-service teachers, as Mr. Belfant alluded to, should be coming back to the colleges for refresher, for training, for professional development. JTC should work in tandem with the Crusade action. But it's not in a cohesive and well-organized fashion. We know that these are the professional development programs that we need for a year to satisfy the requirement of remaining classroom teaching. And these can be gained through X, whether through sources outside of Jamaica or within Jamaica, provided by the ministry or by the colleges. And together they form your PD for that year or for 4 years, whatever it is. It needs to be put together in a coherent fashion. And you cannot continue to service those that have gone out only and ignore the new source of this money.
I think that's last question or two.
Basic ICT skills through art, and also in Microsoft certification of education. That's what it's called, and it's all free. As a matter of fact, if you have to leave your school to do something, we give you money to do that. I mean, you know, so let us not think that, but sometimes some teachers don't take advantage of it.
Young lady.
No, but I mean, we go to the schools and they sign up.
But they don't know how it fits into the big scheme.
And it's both face-to-face and online. So, you know, it's right there with the technology. And both Michael and Hart
But how does it
have
fit into the
cert reports
national
and so on.
scheme? How does it fit in the national strategic plan? Once I access this course, how does it benefit me, the school, the student? There's no cohesive plan to show how these things will impact on the teacher. That is a problem.
Good morning, colleagues. I'm Jen Clacken from the Vocational Training Development Institute, Hart Trust NTA. I think at this point in the discussion, we're at the point where there is this outcry for putting it all together. And I'd like for this meeting to decide on that as a consensus and even suggest a way to move forward. I think we can't just be speaking about the problem, but also plan for some kind of action. And the convergence of all of us as educational technologists or persons who are interested in the growth and the impact, then we need to make a decision. I think the major stakeholders should come together because there are pockets of things happening, come together, itemize those things that we've already been doing, look at the things that we are planning to do, come up with a comprehensive schedule, and then look towards partnering with all of us in here and the stakeholders outside of here to get it done. There are action points that I think we could divest to individual colleges and other bodies that we could actually say, well, we give you a year to get these items done, report to us, make it measurable, and get some support from corporate and other places to fund these things. The resources are here, and there are resources outside of here that we can access freely. We just need to put it all together and make it really work. Otherwise, we're going to come back and be at this point.
Yes, excellent. May I invite my colleague from I-10 if he has anything he wants to contribute to the discussion at this time?
Yes, of course. I totally agree in the sense that, for example, there are a lot of tools outside, but the important thing one thing that I agree with Dr. Pinnock is that we have to be smart in how we are going to use of these kind of tools, and how are we going to provide these tools to teachers, because I think that the teachers' improvement has to be the results of evaluation. When after you evaluate a teacher and can specifically set what are the weakness, teacher can build a path to improve their practice. But if teacher is just taking things in no smart way, it's going to be difficult to measure how he has have teacher improve their methodologies, or how high improve their teacher professional career. So for the reason, it's important, to the last participant said, to see all the picture in a wise way, and to see how is the next step. How can we all together, just not in the national level, if in regional level, how can we come together, these kind of tools and opportunities, and see how can we really affect in positive way the professional career of teachers in the region.
Yes, thank you for that. I don't see any other hand up. Yeah, right. Which brings us, therefore, to the end of this discussion. I never heard it coming up from any of the participants who really raised a question, but Dr. Main, in her presentation, should have covered 3 areas, because this is something that she focuses on. What it means to teach, the philosophy of teaching, and the importance of understanding methodology. Today, from all our speakers and some of the questions coming from the audience, with the and I think it has to start, and this is something that I expect, as you said, Mrs. Crawford, that JTech will lead on. Before you move into how you're going to integrate, I think you have to settle on the philosophy. You have to answer that important question. You spoke a lot today about the changes in teacher education, but you know it's not only the teachers that need to change. The persons, your client, the students, they have changed. They actually have changed some time ago. A lot of what's happening now, many of them find meaningless. And this is why we have so much disruption that's going on. If you want them back, you have to first recognize that our students have also changed. They don't really want to come to sit down and listen to you tell them what's in the
They want you to share with them how to apply knowledge. Your use of ICT, your use of the 5 E's and the 4 C's, which is embedded in the National Standard Curriculum, is changes in methodology. But you have to prepare the mind of teachers to effect that change. Dr. May highlighted those 3 areas, and I'll take you back there, Mrs. Henry Wilson, as JTEC prepares to lead in the way forward, which I think was one of the outcomes for this discussion period, that not only do you answer how do you move to get this acceptance, this natural acceptance, that teachers are responsible for their own ongoing professional development, as Dr. Pinnock said, that the profession as a whole must really look to clearly understanding and developing a philosophy that works. Answer the question of what it is to teach, so that you're able to move forward using ICT in how we deliver instruction. May I thank you all for having joined us. We went over a bit. I think we've recovered some time. I'm reminding you that checkout is at 12 o'clock. And thank you all. And I'd like to thank Mr. Ortiz for joining us. I throw the presentation. I just called you Dr. Claire, and you were so gracious, you never corrected me. So thank you for that. And thank you so much. This is really a fine example of a regional collaboration and cooperation. Thank you so much.
And then we thank the moderator, please. So let's keep our hand ready to the referee. We have to get to the game, and so we throw it properly. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in one sense, we have gotten a charge. In one sense, we have gotten the summary and one of the highlights of the entire conference, things that we have to do. And so, both from the organizers, we will look at all that there is, and also from you, we continue to invite you to give us feedback. You, hopefully by now, you have seen the conference evaluation form in your pockets and filled them out, not just what is happening to the conference, but any other burning ideas, because we left a few open in areas. You still have an opportunity to leave here based on all that previous experience, based on where we need to go, to send us some information. Because in one sense, the conference may have ended physical in terms of being very hotel, but in the other sense, to confer, to have conference consulting